Black & McDonald uses the Lucid Building OS software to assist us in seamlessly integrating, analyzing, and reporting on the energy trends within the portfolio of facilities that we are providing energy management services to. I'm going to showcase two of the many ways that Black & McDonald works with energy data today. One way is being virtual metering, using integrations of utility data for high-level whole building monitoring, and the other being installing hardware such as submeters on key loads and assets to get a more in-depth look at the building's consumption profile. So let's take a peek. Okay, so here we are on the Lucid Building OS energy management software, which we have an example of one of the facilities that the Black & McDonald Energy and Sustainability team does energy management for. So right now we're looking at one of the buildings within the government of Saskatchewan. This is a legislative building. This is one of the 11 buildings in Saskatchewan where we installed hardwired current transformers and energy meters in order to capture full building energy, full building electricity data, along with sub-meter electricity data on major panels as well as major assets. So this is what one of these pages look like essentially. We can see the title of the building, and then as we scroll down through this dashboard, we're able to see some really great graphs which are able to depict some of the energy trends and the electricity trends which are currently occurring within the building. So we can see some basic information about the building over here, and then we're starting off at the full building level from the very top of our report here. So we can see for the entire building, we have a heat map that's actually calling out the last 60 days of electricity consumption in the building from an hour per hour ratio. So you can see the time located across the top of the screen here, and then the month and the day located across the screen here. And it's a really, really easy way to take a quick look at a building and understand the electricity profile of the building. So we can see kind of from like 12 a.m. to 4 a.m., hardly any activity going on here, but then we're starting to see some soft starts to equipment at maybe like 4:30, 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and then ramping all the way up into 6, 7, 8 a.m. when we're really seeing that building to start to really open for occupancy. And then you can see from the red on the heat map here, between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m., this is when the building's mainly occupied, because this is when we're seeing the main electrical loads being run within the facility. Just going to scroll down a little bit here. We see callouts for the entire portion of electrical consumption throughout the building. And then we're getting a little bit more granular as we scroll down here. So we're seeing the main distribution panels. There's two main distribution panels in this building here, and we're seeing the breakdown of what's being allocated to each of these distribution panels. We can see the car plugs, which car plugs are being plugged in right now. Pretty cold in Saskatchewan, so we're definitely seeing those being used. We see the small power and light, so this is really, really useful. All of these panels are actually being labeled in order to see what different floors are doing in terms of lighting here, and that's something we're able to see through, we're able to label that with a building operator. So that's kind of the naming convention that we're able to see here, but that's totally adjustable. Getting even more in depth, we went down to some actual assets that we submetered here. So we can see when is this chiller being turned on, and then we were overlaying that with the outdoor temperature. So understanding at what time are these major assets being turned on, looking at the server room, how that's operating, the heating loop. Again, another one of these heat maps, which is a really great tool to get a quick look of electricity consumption in the building. We see a breakdown of the kitchen, understanding what's actually being used there, from ovens to fans to pumps, really understanding how much consumption they have, capacitor banks. So just an idea of how in-depth and how granular we can really get with data when we are submetering a facility. And something I do want to show quickly here is the fact that, yes, this is absolutely coming from a website here that we're going to, so we can log on to the Lucid Building OS system from any device. So it can be from any laptop, computer, tablet, or a cell phone even, as long as you have a username and a password. But if you don't want to be logging on to seeing this data, something something's really great you can do is actually go to Actions, and you can email this dashboard. So you can download this as a PDF anytime and shoot this off, or you can set this to be emailed on a schedule, which is really, really helpful. So that's a quick overview of what a facility that's hardwired with submeters looks like. I'm just going to flip over quickly and go to a virtual integration so we can see a quick compare. So as shown for the hardwired energy meter installation that was integrated to Lucid Building OS for energy management purposes, we also have the ability for a less invasive approach to really satisfy the need of just looking at whole building electricity consumption or natural gas consumption through an integration with a local utility provider. So what we have here is an example of some energy management and energy monitoring work that the energy and sustainability team has done and created a dashboard and a report for. Without the use of any hardwired meters, we've only really integrated with the two local utilities, the electricity as well as the natural gas company, which service this facility, in order to get the data this way. So just a quick run through, we're able to see monthly electricity consumption data here, month over month, that's being automatically pushed from the utility portal over to our energy management site here. And this utility in particular is able to push the data on hourly intervals. So it does automatically populate here on an hour per hour basis for full building electricity, which is definitely really useful to be able to see. And we're also able to integrate this type of data into a heat map, which again, similar to the other example, is a really great way to just see a high level look at the energy profile of the building and how that's broken down. And we do have the ability to really customize any of these reports or dashboards. We can change the cards, we can change any photos, we can add text and captions to these different graphs. So definitely really customizable in that sense. And then we also have the natural gas integrated for the site too. So the utility that services this facility is able to push this information monthly here. So we do see it being depicted visually in these graphs, as well as callouts. And we do have the ability to change the information that's called out here also, inserting some pictures to personalize it a little bit more for the facility, as well as the energy and sustainability team is able to overlay this information with information such as heating and cooling degree days or outdoor temperature. So we are able to do some further analysis to understand if the building really is running according to how it should be based on the amount of energy it's consuming and the type of environment that it's operating in. We also do have kind of a fun tab here, a ways to reduce section, which is really looking at consumption change. And this can be really great for occupant engagement. If you want to send either different tenants or different stakeholders, if they want to see a real quick roundup of how the facility is doing, comment on that, as well as putting on some helpful tips in terms of ways to reduce your consumption. So this is really just an example of what a virtual metering integration would look like. You can see the report is very similar to that of a hardware wired installation. However, we only do have the information and the data available at a full building level, seeing that we are not installing any meters on any distribution panels or receptacle panels or lighting panels. We're just depending on the utility to push that full building data. And again, that is dependent on the utility and what information and what interval that data is available at. However, it is a really great option if you are just looking at initially investigating the energy profile of your building and looking for a low cost option to do this also. So overall, two really great options of how Black McDonald uses this energy management software in order to analyze different energy trends and communicate energy engagement methods to our clients. So if you do have any further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or the rest of the team here at Black McDonald. We would be more than happy to satisfy any questions you may have.